Welcome back everyone to our Let's Play series of Winds of Trade. Now in our previous video we just got things started, talked a little bit about the game, some of the basic mechanics of the game, and some of the basic ideas behind the game and how you might want to play it. So in this particular video we're going to start actually getting into some of the gameplay. We're starting out on pause, which is, as I mentioned in the first video, you're going to spend a lot of time on pause as you try to figure out your trade routes and try to get things up and running. So at this particular point in time, we're very early on in the game. We basically just spawned in and started the game, and we did one trade just to sort of see how the mechanics worked. We started out with 20,000. We're at 18,740 right now, mostly because we opened up another trade center over here in Russo to have a second place to trade. So if we sort of center up the map a little bit, you can see that there are 3 islands and multiple countries on the map, but for right now it's really cost prohibitive for us to be traveling back and forth, particularly from where we're starting to the other islands. However, we're quickly going to find out that we're going to need to do that if we're going to make some serious money. Okay, so right now we have our one ship and it is parked over here at Mathala. So for now it's going to stay there, but let's take a look at what kind of trade we might be able to do just with our first 2 cities, and then we'll expand that a little bit and see what opportunities might exist beyond that. So Mathala makes rum and sugar. This is what they've got. Now their industries, we can see that there are some things they need, such as cotton and some fabric and then wood and so forth, that would enable them to make several other products along the way. If we come over to Russo, then you can see they make several products, including the rum and sugar that we've already seen at Mathala. So our first opportunities would be, okay, can we sell any of these other products that they make to Mathala? And it turns out that we can. And the way you can see that is if we come into the goods prices screen. I really wish there was a way to sort of, do some work on this and sort and filter and do some things like that, because I don't need to see all of these cities right now because I can't do business with most all of them right now, but we do see the 2 in bold here that we can do business with. So let's take a look at what we might find. 2 of the items that I've seen that we do have a market for our ability to trade and make some profit, one of those is in coffee. Now this is what we did in the previous video. This was our one trade. We purchased coffee for $52 here at Russo and then sold it for $69 over in Mathala. Now we could have our ship set up to automatically do this and run this route. Now unfortunately I've not seen any way for us to make money on the return trips. In other words, we can purchase this coffee in Russo, sell it in Mathala and make some money. However, there's nothing that I know of we can buy for right now in Mathala and then sell it back in Russo. So we're sort of out of luck there. We're going to be empty on the way back, which if any of you are familiar with trucking, you do not like to have an empty trailer on the way back. So the other option for us is opium. Okay, opium, if we click on it, you can see that we can purchase it for $385 in Russo and sell it for $732 in Mathala. Now that is awesome for us as far as a profit percentage. The problem we might run into is it doesn't seem that there's going to be very much of it. So we'll still have to see how that works out. Thankfully our ship is fairly small and pretty quick, so it can't hold that much anyway. I believe our cargo is limited to 80 tons, I believe. So we're okay with this amount. So we might be able to take both opium and the coffee and make sure that we have filled up. So there you can see our cargo, maximum of 80 tons. So the first thing we're going to need to do, since I haven't found anything that we can purchase in Mathala to sell over into Russo, we're going to have our ship come back over to Russo. And now let's click here. Now we know that the most money is to be made on opium, so we're going to go ahead and buy the max, 54. Okay, but we still got some room left here. Okay, we still got some room left, so we could purchase more coffee for the return trip, and to fill out all of our available room. However, because we're early in the game, we don't have enough money, so we're just going to have to make do with this for now. Okay, let's go ahead and queue up the return trip. And let's fast forward that so we can get back over there fairly quickly. And then we'll click on Mathala and see that 744 is what we can sell it for. Now, the prices that we see in our different screens won't always be the same, because remember, it's taken us some time to travel back and forth, and of course that accrues cost for us as well. And you can see our actual amount of money has dropped a little bit because of the trip. So we're going to go ahead and sell all of that. And now look at the huge amount of money we have just made. Again, we started out the game with 20,000. We spent a little bit of money to open up a trade office in our second city, but now we have ballooned our profits to a huge amount. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to head back over here, do that. We're going to now pause time, click back in here, and see that once again, 369. I don't remember the prices. It's not important. We only have 35 this time. Let's buy all of that. And you can see now we've got some extra money. Okay, so that means that we can also buy the maximum of the coffee. We're good to go there. Okay, let's exit out of that. Trying to make sure that I keep the game on pause as much as possible. Now let's go ahead and have it on fast forward. As soon as we get there, we pause again. It would be nice to have an auto pause whenever you have a ship that you're manually controlling, not on an auto route, but you're manually controlling it and it goes into port. It would be great if the game would auto pause there. So now that we're back, we come back in and we see that now the price for opium has dropped a little bit. We're down into 632. I believe we were around 730 or so before. So we're going to go ahead and sell all of that, still for a very nice profit. And then the same thing for the coffee. Very nice profit. So now you can see we've made some nice money here. Okay, if we come back out to the price of our goods, the opium, 632 is now what Mathala will pay, 369. So not quite as much profit, but still a huge amount to be gained there. If we take a look at coffee, purchase it for 49 and then sell it for 81. So both of these are very good trade routes. So we're going to take this opportunity to see if we can purchase a captain for our ship so that we can set up an automatic trade route, which is something I'm very interested in, so that we can start to look at our growing empire much more globally rather than from a very narrow focus and having to micromanage everything. So you can see here already we've got 3 captains that are available for hire. We have an organizer of skill level 3, which essentially means that this guy is going to give us the ability to carry 15% more cargo. We have a great sailor who's going to increase our speed by 20% at level 4, and then a smuggler at level 5, which gives us a 30% chance of being able to actually smuggle illegal goods without being caught. Okay, here I'm going to get the organizer so that we can get a little bit of extra cargo space. You can see here that it's going to cost us $300, which is not a problem for us to hire them, and then $60 per week. Now, at this particular point in time, because of the varying, the limited time that I've been playing and the varying time scales, I'm not sure exactly how much we could actually afford to pay somebody right now based on the trade routes that we're going to give them. We'll just have to see how it goes, and I'm going to try not to micromanage this thing to any great degree. We're just going to try to make sure that we continue to grow our income and expand our empire. So we're going to go ahead and hire the organizer. I do know there is one additional type at least, which will help out with the combat and give you a better chance of defending your ship. So for now, we don't have one of those available. We're going to take the organizer and get that additional cargo capacity. Okay, so do we want to hire Sidney Thompson? Absolutely we do. So we'll come back out. We don't have a captain assigned to our ship. We do now. Let's go ahead and sign there. If we come back out and look at our ship, you can see now we do have a captain assigned. Now we can set up an automatic route. This is going to take us a minute this first time, but hopefully the more we do this, the better we'll get at it. So we'll go ahead and go into auto assign route, and then we're going to have a few different things. Of course, you got your buy and your sell actions, and then you've got an option to remove everything and start fresh, but we're going to start out with a go-to action. And the first thing we're going to want to go to is we're going to want to go to Rousseau. It almost seemed like it would be maybe a little bit easier if we could just click these on the map. But we'll see how this works out. Now, stay at the most. I have no idea how many days we should leave this up to. We could look at the production chain for a particular city in order to do this, but for now, we're just going to leave that as it is. And then the buy action, we're going to buy. The first thing we want to buy is the opium. Okay, the minimum amount we want to purchase, we'll leave that at 20. And the maximum amount, let's say we'll leave that at 80. I know we have a little bit increased cargo capacity, but we'll go ahead and set the maximum amount in case we trade out our captains. All right, now we get to the price. What's the maximum price? Well, we want to make sure that we lock in profit and we don't sell for a loss, of course. So the maximum profit I'm going to set for this, if we look at where we've been buying, we started out buying it at about 385. I'm going to set the maximum at about 550 to allow for some fluctuation. That would be a large fluctuation, but we're going to allow for that. And the reason is now that our next is going to be a go-to action, and we're going to go to Mathala. If we can find it in here. There we go. Mathala, stay at the most. Again, not sure what to do about that, so we'll just leave that as is. And the sell action, we're going to sell that opium. And the minimum price we're going to sell it for, we're going to say is about $575. Now, that wouldn't be a great deal of profit, but it would make sure that we have a profit. Okay, maximum amount, we want to leave that alone. And for now, I want to keep it just at this one item, this one product we're selling. And with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and set this to 100. We probably won't be able to get up that high, maybe ever, but particularly with our current captain and ship configuration we want. So for now, we'll go ahead and set all of these as is. This will guarantee us that we make a profit and that we don't sell at a loss. Worst case scenario is our ship won't be doing anything. It won't be making any trades. So we should be good to go. So to summarize, what do we have to do? We started out with a go-to action. We went to the city we want to buy from. What do we want to buy? We want to buy opium. And we set up our minimum and maximum amounts, and then the maximum price that we're going to pay. So they'll pay whatever the current price is for that particular item, but this is the most we want to pay. And then where do we want to take it? We want to sell to the next city where we're going to sell the item. What are we going to sell? The item we just picked up. And what is the minimum amount we want to sell it for? And again, we want to set an amount so that we're at least making a small profit. And then what we'll need to do is, as time goes on and these prices move around, we might want to adjust these up or down, still making sure that we're making a profit. But we might need to make some adjustments to make sure that we continue to have this as a viable route, as long as it is, of course, a viable route. So now with all of that in mind, let's go ahead and we're going to put it on fast forward for a second. Okay. Now, while we still have our ship highlighted, you can see what we're able to pick up by looking at the cargo amount. And let's go ahead and we'll keep it on fast forward. All right, they're purchasing 20. Okay, 20 was all that was available. We'll come back over to Mathala. Let's see if they're going to sell it. Okay, they didn't sell it. So let's take a look and see if we can figure out why that might have happened. Okay, oh, so 568. There we go. So it didn't sell because the price wasn't enough. So if we come back in, the minimum price is, let's go ahead and lower this down some. So let's make sure that we get what we need there. And if we take a look at our buy price, come back and take a look at the opium. It is currently 367, so we have plenty of room on the upside to still purchase there. Okay, so I think this should be just fine. We'll go ahead and put this back on fast forward. Now we've gone back over. We've purchased more because we're still, our maximum I believe was 100 that we set there, even though we can't quite get to that amount for the ship. So now we're going to come back over. We're going to see in Mathala if they sell this. And unfortunately, they still did not sell it. Okay, so now we've got to figure out exactly what's going on. I've obviously made some sort of mistake. So we go to Rousseau, buy the opium. We've got our amounts, maximum price, so no problem there. We go to Mathala to sell the opium. Our minimum price is $5.51. Okay, so let's take a look in. Okay, it's there. That should be perfectly fine. 607 is definitely very interesting that we're actually not selling this off. This is, oh, there we go. So now it sold it this time around. Okay, so we've got, I'm not sure what happened the first couple of times around, or maybe it just took a second for the updates to take effect. So we're going to leave it on regular speed this time. And we're going to see that we've picked up 12:14. So you can see the time passing. We're now at March 10th, 11th, and so on. So we're in the process of buying. And again, how much we can buy is going to be very dependent upon the production chain. You can see the production chain that is starting to work its way through. So we have 20 of the opium. We're going to bring this back over to Mathala, and let's see if once again they sell it. So far, nothing, which makes me a little nervous given how we started out with this whole thing. Okay, so still nothing. We'll take a look, and okay, the price has dropped, and that would be why they're no longer doing it. So 422, you can see that it looks like there may not be a time where you can just set these on auto trade and then forget about them. So if we come back over to Rousseau, we can see that the amount is still 367. So we're still perfectly fine there. The price has not really increased there. So what we're going to need to do is make yet another adjustment. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is drop our buy price. So we're trying to learn here. So the price has not really increased on what we can expect to pay to purchase. So I'm going to still leave a little wiggle room here, but we know that the price that they're willing to pay based on supply and demand has now decreased greatly. So if we come back out to Mathala, they're only willing to pay $4.18 now. So I'm going to have to decide, of course, is this a trade route that I'm willing to continue with? Okay. So 400, we're going to go 410. Okay, and I've already forgotten. 418. Okay, so it looks like this trade route is not going to be viable for very much longer. So let's go ahead and make the adjustment, and we'll say 390 for right now, just to get things going again. And so, okay, let's go ahead and run it at double speed instead of the highest level. Okay, so we didn't sell anything there, so our changes that we made to the route haven't made an effect yet. Okay, he's picked up more as he comes back over to Mathala. And once again, it looks like they are not selling. Okay, we'll give it a minute here and see if maybe our changes didn't take hold yet. He's made a purchase. Okay, now he's going to head back over to Mathala. We've got our first announcement. So let's go ahead and pause the game. Well, there you go. You see the cargo left. So the adjustments that we made did keep everything going. So everything is working as planned. Of course, the problem now is it's not quite as lucrative of a trip as it once was. Okay, so if we come back in here, you can see the opium at 436. So the price has gone up just a little bit more there. we go to the goods screen for opium, so we can sell it for $3.96. $3.67 is what we can buy it for. So again, everything is really not turning out as well for us now, again, because of supply and demand. So let's take a look at the coffee and see if maybe we want to make a change here. Okay, so Russo, I'll tell you what, before we do that, let's go ahead and make sure. So $3.67, this price has not changed. So let's go ahead and change this route. And let's go, since it looks like it may not change. Not sure if it is or if it isn't, but we'll find out. Okay, so let's go ahead and have that in. So now do we have the ability to add? We'll have to find out momentarily. What do we want to buy? We want to buy the coffee. But first we need to get a good look at the prices. So let's go under coffee, look at the prices. All right, we can buy it for 47, sell it for 65. So 47 and 65. All right, now we're going to find out together if we can add a buy action. Now the question is, can I move this? Okay, I can. All right, let's see. Did that work? Go to Russo, buy, scroll down, buy coffee. And let's say minimum level 20. Okay, that's fine. Minimum level on the opium is also 20. Maximum amount we'll leave at 100. And our prices, I've already forgotten, of course, 47 and 65. Okay, so 47 is the main thing here. All right, we'll leave that. I'll tell you what, we'll leave that at 50. And then we're going to go. So we're buying opium as well. I'm not sure how that's gotten. Okay, so it's not. There we go. It looks like it's replacing rather than just moving the order here. All right, so we go to Russo, buy opium, buy coffee, and we've got our prices set there. Then we need to go to Mathala and sell the opium. Minimum price there. Add another sale option for the coffee. Okay, so the minimum price here for the coffee, we're going to put at just 51. Again, that would be a very, very small profit. But it is what it is. We'll leave the maximum at 100. Probably didn't even need to check that box. All right, so we're going to sell to Russo, buy our 2 items. We've got our prices set up. Then we're going to sell to Mathala and sell each of them with our prices set up. Okay, this should help us. All right, there we go. So now we've bought some of each. We've maxed out our cargo space. All right, it would be nice if once they max out their cargo space, rather than continuing to wait, it would be nice if they would go ahead and start the trip. All right, immediately we were able to sell one, but okay, we didn't sell all of the opium. So once again, we're going to need to come in and let's first take a look at, okay, so we're selling for a minimum price of $3.80. The goods prices for opium in Mathala is now down below. We can't make money trading this. So we're buying at $3.67 and selling it for $3.39. So that will not work. Okay, so now we're going to have to stop this. Okay, we're going to have to stop this one because we're just going to be losing lots and lots of money. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's see what we could open up trade routes with either of these 2 cities. Let's go with, let's just let the market tell us what we can sell this opium for. $3.67 there, which is not good. Of course, then we got a lot of places where it would be illegal to sell the opium. So $3.67 isn't good, but at the same time, it gets it off. And then I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. the name of that, but we'll see if we can. So 350, it's even less there. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if it will allow us to override this. Okay, looks like it will. And okay, unfortunately, one thing I've noticed is that whenever the newspapers pop up, one thing it doesn't do is it doesn't pause time. So we've got an issue there. Okay, so let's click on this particular one and let's go ahead and sell all. Okay, do we want to open up a trade office? That's right, because we don't have one. So yes, we absolutely do. And then we want to... Oh, there is no one interested in purchasing opium. Well, how about that? All right, so they're making it there as well. Wow, that would be very expensive. Okay, so it looks like we may have to, in the interest of time... Tell you what, let's just go ahead, and this is a terrible idea as far as timing goes. All right, and we're under attack. So what should we do? Should we try to run? Or should we try to battle? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead for the purposes of our recording here, and let's go ahead and let's battle. So what's the worst thing that could happen? We get destroyed. And it looks very likely because I can already see that this is not going to be good. So I'm going to see if we can run, because they have 12 cannons and then another with 5 cannons. We only have 8 cannons and we're going to have to fight 2 of them. And so I don't see that. All right. Estimated probability of success is only 47%. All right. So we're not going to be able, that's probably not going to work out for us. So I'll tell you what, let's just go ahead and let's just do this. You can see how far we can move. Now it's turn-based, so they're going to have an opportunity to move as well. Again, I don't think this is going to turn out so well for us. But we're going to give it a shot and see what happens. Okay, so let's click on him. Nope, they can't. Looks like all I can do is move there. All right, so now they're going to start attacking us. All right, let's see what they did. Okay, nothing. They did no damage to us. All right, so we've got 2 options for damage. And if you watch at the bottom in the center of the screen, we have the damage of 0 to 15, or we can try to do a different type of damage, which would be 0 to 8, plus it slows them down for the rest of the battle. We're going to go maximum damage here, and let's see what we get. Okay, so we got 11 damage there, which was pretty good. Let's see, they're after us. They did no damage to us. Okay, let's try again to deal as much damage as we can. Okay, that was very good. That was 23 damage for us. Now they're going to start bombarding us. And, okay, they missed. That's good. Let's see what happens here. Oh, that was not good. That was 48 damage. This is why I think it's going to be a very bad idea for us to remain here. But we're just going to deal with it. And then we're going to move on. All right. Again, no damage there. Okay. They missed on both accounts. Oh, wait. How many of these shots are they getting at us? My goodness. All right. We're just dead meat here. So now let's see if we can do this. Okay. So we didn't get to escape. All right, so that took one of our turns. And, okay, we got sunk. So this is one of the reasons why I wasn't terribly interested in dealing very much with the attackers, is because that's not really what I'm playing this game for. So now we're back to sort of square one with one exception. If you'll notice, we still have our money. We lost all our cargo and, of course, lost our ship, but we still have our money. And so we'll have the ability to start fresh, which means that as we pause the game time here, we'll start fresh by purchasing another ship, and then we'll take it from there. So once again, thank you very much for joining me, and stay in tune for more Winds of Trade.